Hi guys, it's Valerie here at NHBS. Today I'm going to take you through a booty and ab yoga-esque workout. So we're going to start laying on our back. We're going to hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a little squeeze, maybe gently rock from side to side. And we're going to keep that right knee in, hug it in nice and tight, and let that left leg out nice and long. Really hug that right knee in towards the chest using your arms. And then we're going to keep that knee in, but we're going to let our hands down by our sides. Hug that knee in using just your core. And then we're going to lift the chest and shoulders off the mat and gaze down at that belly. Hug that right knee in. Hug it in nice and tight. And then we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. We're going to lower down. And this time when we come up, we're going to bring that left elbow towards the right knee. And then lower back down. We'll lift it back up. And lower. Nice job. Squeeze. Bring that elbow all the way to that knee. Rather than lifting your elbow over, try to lift your whole shoulder up and over. Nice job. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's hug both knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze. Lay your head back down on the mat. And then we're going to hug that left knee in. Right leg out nice and long. Option to lay that right foot on the floor. I should have told you that on the other side. So if you didn't, you're going to challenge yourself. We're going to hug that left knee in towards the belly. And then using just our core, hug that knee in. Using that core, hug it in nice and tight. And then lift the chest and shoulders off the mat. Gaze down at that navel. Squeeze everything in. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Lower the upper body and then lift that right shoulder up into the air. Reach that right shoulder and that right elbow towards that left knee, hugging it in. Squeezing that core. Nice job. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Grab for the outside of your feet and take a nice little happy baby. Try to keep that tailbone down towards the ground. Maybe straightening into one leg and then the other. And then we're going to go ahead and release our feet. Bring our legs out nice and wide. Reach our hands above towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers. Release the pointer and the thumb. Take a nice deep breath in. On your exhale, you're going to reach through. Lower all the way back down. And then reach through again. Lower down. Crunch up. Really lift the shoulders. Push that low back into the mat. Squeeze everything up. For 3. You got this. Keep it moving. For 2. And 1. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Let's take a nice full body stretch. Reaching the fingers, pointing the toes. That low back can lift off of the mat. And then let's take our fingers behind our thighs. Start to rock and roll the length of our body. We'll come up to a seat and move into our tabletop position. So the hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Pull that belly up and in. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and bend that right knee and just lift it out towards the side of the room. Lower down, lifting that leg out towards the side and lower down. Try to keep the shoulders nice and square. We're just moving that leg out and down, lifting it up, squeezing that booty, keeping that foot nice and flexed. You got this. Moving into the booty. And this time we're going to hold that leg out, really squeeze that booty, and then we're going to turn that knee, turn that thigh so it's parallel to the floor, and we're going to have that sole of the foot up towards the sky, and we're going to do tiny little kicks. We're kicking up towards the sky. Squeezing that right glute to lift as if you're trying to kick the ceiling with your foot. For 3, 2, and 1. This time we're going to lengthen that right leg out nice and long. We're going to reach that left arm forward and we're going to hug it in. Bring the elbow to the knee, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug it in, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. You got this. 2 more times. Hug it in. Reach it out. You got it. Let's hold here for 3, 2, 1. Plant that left hand down. Shoot that right leg out nice and long. We're going to tap it down. Tap it to the right side of your mat. And then all the way to the left. Really swinging that leg nice and slow and controlled. Really squeezing that glute. So I'm not just flinging my leg. It's nice and straight and strong and sturdy. And I'm just lifting it up and over. Nice job. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead, bring that right knee in. Take a little child's pose with the hips down. Let the forehead come down to the mat. Reach the hands forward. Take this opportunity to slow your breathing down. 1 more deep inhale, and on your exhale, we're going to come all the way back into that tabletop position, and we're going to go ahead and take that left leg out towards the side. So I'm just lifting that knee and lowering, lifting it up and down. It doesn't have to get that high. We're just squeezing that glute, lifting the leg. You got it. Last 3. Really squeeze it up. You got it. 2 and 1. This time we're going to turn that thigh parallel to the floor, sole the foot up towards the sky. Try to get those hips nice and square. We're just going to lift that leg nice and high. Kick the ceiling with that foot. Reach it up. Nice job. Really squeeze that left glute. Hands and fingers are spread nice and wide. Nice straight arms. For 3, 2, and 1. Extend that left leg nice and long. Reach that right arm forward. And on your exhale, we're going to hug the elbow in towards the knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. You got it. Reach it out. Use the core. Use your balance here. And reach it forward. 2 more times. Hug it in. Nice job. Let's hold here. Round the spine. And then place that right hand on the floor. Let's extend that left leg nice and long. And we're going to drop it over to the left and then over to the right. Nice tight belly. Pull it up and in and away from the floor. Nice job. You got this. We're almost there. Feel that booty for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Finish your other side. And then let's bring that left knee in to join the right. Let's take a nice cat-cow here. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine, push the floor away. Nice job. 1 more time. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the chin to the chest. Nice job. Let's take our hands, spread our fingers nice and wide. Tuck our toes under. We're going to lift our hips and come into a plank position. Lift our knees, Push the floor away, round through the upper back. Tuck the tailbone slightly. Make sure your shoulders are in line with your hips. Pulling everything in. Option to drop down onto the knees if you need to. We're going to take our left hand, place it right beneath our gaze, and reach the right arm up towards the sky. Take a little side plank. Maybe gaze up towards those right fingertips. And then we're going to take that right hand. We're going to thread the needle. Thread underneath the body. Lift it up towards the sky. Nice job. Lower it down. Lift it back up. 1 more time. Lift it up nice and high. Maybe you can lift your right leg towards the ceiling. And we'll find our plank position. Hands down on the ground. This time that right hand is going to come towards the floor. And the left arm is going to reach nice and high. Find that side plank. Lift the hips up nice and high to the sky. Let's find that thread the needle. We're coming underneath. And then lifting up nice and high. You got this. Nice strong core. Nice slow and controlled movements. You got it. 1 more time. Thread it under. Reach it up. Maybe lift that left leg off of the mat. You got it. And then let's find that plank position. We're going to lift the hips and come into a downward facing dog. So your hands are spread nice and wide. Your fingers are spread nice and wide. Your heels are driving towards the floor and your knees are bent to make sure that your back is nice and straight. We don't want to have straight legs and a rounded back. So bend those knees nice straight back. Stretch into those calves, into those hamstrings. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale that left leg nice and high. On your exhale, we're going to round it in. Crunch it in. Lift that left leg. This time that left knee is coming for the left tricep. Hug it in. Lengthen that left leg. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, lengthen, and this time we're coming all the way through. Step that foot down in between the hands. Let's inhale into our crescent warrior. Pull the belly up and in here. And then keep that bend in the front knee. Make sure that front knee doesn't go past that front ankle. Nice, straight, strong back leg. Reach the arms up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to bend that back knee, hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Try to keep all the movement in your back knee. It's okay if you need to straighten through that front knee to take a little bit of a breather. Let's try to hold this here. Nice job, you got this. Only a few more, and then we'll take a little break. Let's reach up, hold here, and we're gonna straighten that front leg and turn ourselves into a star pose. Let's turn the toes out, the heels in, and sink it down for a goddess squat. Try to keep those hips nice and low. And we're gonna see if we can lift one heel off the mat. Lower that heel down, lift the opposite heel off the mat. Nice job. Hold here for 3, 2, and in 1, we're gonna pivot our body. So we're lunging to the back of the mat. We're gonna inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As we exhale, lower down, bend that back knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. You got this. Breathing through your movements. Feel that burn in the booty. You got this. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's come all the way back up to that crescent lunge. Open it back up into our goddess. And we're gonna take our hands and bring them behind the thighs. We're gonna take our right hand behind our head and gently hinge it over towards left. Back to center, lower down. Feel that burn in the legs, you got this. We're crunching, we're working our legs. Nice job. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's take a nice star pose, straighten through the legs, feel a little bit of a break, and then let's head right back down into our goddess squat. This time the left hand's gonna come up, we're gonna hinge it over to the right, back to center, and lower down. You got it. We're moving through it. Feel it in those legs, keep pulling those knees out. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Straighten through those legs, reach the arms up overhead, and let's exhale. Take a nice wide leg forward fold. Bring the hands down to the ground. Take a nice little break here. Feel a nice stretch in the legs. Let the upper body be heavy. And slow your breathing down just a little bit. Beautiful. On your next inhale, we're gonna start to walk our hands towards the front of the mat and find a nice low lunge. We're gonna plant our hands on the floor and see if we can lift that right leg nice and high. Option to take your hands off the mat if you wanna work on your balance, but make sure your back is nice and straight. You're not rounding forward. And from here, we're gonna bend that left leg. That right ankle is gonna come behind the left ankle, Shiva squat, and we're gonna extend that right leg towards the sky. Lower it down, squat it down. Lift it up nice and high. You got this. Bend that left leg. Reach it up nice and high. We're doing this for the booty, guys. Lower it down. Kick it back up. Nice job. We're gonna hold here. Kick through that back heel. Maybe see if you can lift your fingers off of the mat. Come into your warrior 3. And we're gonna rise all the way back up to standing. Nice job. Shake the legs out. Let's go ahead, take a nice deep inhale. Our exhale will bring our hands down to the floor, and we're gonna extend that left leg nice and high. That left ankle is gonna cross behind the right, bend that right knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, lengthen. You got this. Bend that right knee. Extend it nice and high. Feel that right glute working here. You got this. Last one. We're gonna come all the way up and we're gonna hold here. Maybe bring the hands in prayer. Maybe find your warrior 3. And then nice and slowly, we're gonna rise all the way back up to standing. Let's take our feet about mat width distance wide, toes out, heels in. We're gonna sink it down for a Malasana yogi squat. So I'm gonna push my knees out nice and wide. My hips are gonna sink down nice and low. Use your elbows to push your knees out and then sit up nice and tall. Nice job. Take a nice deep breath in on your exhale. We're gonna let our booty come all the way down onto our mat as we find a boat pose. So shins ideally wanna be parallel to the floor, but it's okay as long as your chest is up. Doesn't matter where your feet are. Option to keep your toes on the ground or maybe put your hands behind your back. Lift the chest up nice and high. We're gonna go ahead and do some toe taps. Right toes down, lift it back up, left, up, right. Nice and slow and controlled. Use that core, engage that belly, Nice deep breaths. Breathing through this. You got this. Last 3. Keep it going for 2. And 1. Keep those knees lifted. Shine that chest up towards the sky. We're going to exhale, lower down, low boat. Squeeze that belly. Inhale, rise back up. Boat pose. Lower down. Hug that belly in. Lift it all the way back up. This time we're going to lower down and we're going to hold here. Pull the belly up and in. Maybe reach the arms up overhead for 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead, take a full body stretch. Reach the fingers, point the toes, take a nice stretch. Feel that low back lift off of the mat. We're going to move right into our bridge sequence. So hands are going to come down by the sides. We're going to go ahead and start to push the heels in towards the floor. Heels are nice and close to the glutes, almost as if I could reach them with my fingertips. And that's kind of where we're going. We're going to take a nice deep inhale. As we exhale, we're going to curl our back off of the mat. And we're just going to reach for our heels. Just kind of slide from side to side. So your hips are down. And we're moving into our core before we get into our glute bridges. So you're reaching for those heels. The farther away, the harder it'll be. The closer to your booty, the easier it'll be. We're going right and left. Right fingertips reaching and then left. You got this. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's lay all the way back down on our backs. Heels close to the glutes this time. We're really coming in for a bridge. We're going to draw those inner thighs towards each other. And we're going to start to curl the tailbone off of the mat. Lift the hips up nice and high. Keep drawing those inner thighs together. The knees don't have to come together, but just actively pull those inner thighs towards each other and lift the hips up nice and high. We're going to lift one heel off of the mat. Lift the hips up. Lower that heel. Lift the left heel off of the mat. Lower back down. Lift both heels off of the mat. Try to lift those hips nice and high. And then lower all the way back down. Nice job. This time we're going to ground into the heels. Slowly lift that low back off of the mat. Lift the hips nice and high. Ground into those hands. Maybe you can start to bring that right leg up towards the sky. And then we're going to take some glute bridges here. Lift booty. Lift, squeeze into that booty. Kick through that left heel. You got this. Really squeeze. 4, 3, 2. Nice slow movements. You got it. Give me 1 extra. Here we go. And then let's lower it all the way down to the floor. We're going to ground into that right heel this time. Left leg will reach nice and high. Ground into those hands. Start to lift the hips nice and high. And then lower down. Lift up towards the sky and lower. You got this. Squeezing that right glute. Really squeeze. Lift the hips. Maybe you don't lift your hips very high, and that's totally okay. You got it. Last one, and then lower all the way down onto the mat. Let's hug the knees into the chest, give them a little squeeze. And we're going to go ahead and extend our legs nice and high to the sky. Same thing we did earlier. Interlace the fingers, release the pointer and the thumb. It's okay if your knees are bent here. We're just reaching up towards the ceiling. So maybe you're reaching for your toes, maybe you're just reaching for the sky. But on your exhale, you're going to lift your shoulder, lift your chest, and reach for the sky. Reach for your toes. You got this. Really squeezing that belly up and in. Nice job. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Reach for those toes. And then let's go all the way back down onto our back. We're going to do one more round of bridge. Ground in those heels, start to peel the booty off of the mat. Squeeze those glutes nice and high. And this time we're going to lift the tops of the feet off the floor and see if you can march your feet forward and then march your feet back. Now we're getting a little bit into the hamstrings. Walk it all the way to the front of the mat and then walk it all the way back. Try to keep those hips nice and high. Walk it all the way down. See how far you can get out and then come all the way back in. And then let's lower all the way down onto our back. Lift those legs nice and high. We're going to cross our legs over each other. Take almost like eagle legs, but we're just crossing the right knee over the left like we're crossing our legs. Option to grab for opposite shoulders. Option to interlace the hands behind the back. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. On our exhale, left elbow is going to come to the right knee. Lower down. Lift the opposite elbow. Down, left elbow up, So we're kind of doing bicycle, but we're hugging both knees into the chest, squeezing those inner thighs together. Nice job. For 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, switch the legs out. We're getting right back into the opposite side. Hug those knees in. Try to keep the feet off the floor. Left elbow up, and then right. Nice job. You got it. We're almost there, guys. Keep pushing through. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Go ahead, let's take a full body stretch. Reach the fingers, point the toes. And we're gonna go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. Same thing that we did earlier. We're gonna interlace the hands, release the pointer and the thumb. This time when we exhale, we're gonna see if we can come all the way up to a seat and lower all the way back down onto our back. Start to reach the fingertips forward and come all the way up. If you start to feel your feet come off the ground, just go all the way back down to the ground. You don't need to come all the way back up to a seat if it's bothering your low back. Just as far as feels comfortable for your body. We're gonna burn out here, guys. So really push yourself. You got this. Moving through it. Last 5. Keep pushing. 4, 3, 2, reach it up. Last 1, let's go. You got this. Squeeze it up. Nice job. Let's take a nice little stretch. Grab the feet, bow the head forward. Take a nice little stretch here. Stretching out the glutes. Beautiful. And then let's cross the ankles, plant the hands, come into our plank position, and we're just going to drop the hips from here. Take a nice little stretch for our core. Maybe gaze over your right shoulder, and then over to your left. Awesome. Try to do a little bit more stretching if you can, but that is it for your workout today. My name is Valerie. You guys did a great job.